the Tapestry. And I'm still on chapter 8 because I didn't feel super great last week, but it'll only be a short one. And just so you know, this is Nessie, my sweet precious. Okay, you can lay back down. All right, so picking back up with their love letters. This is April 26, 1935. Gosh, this book is falling apart. Dearest Edith, good afternoon, dearest sweets. It is sunshiny and a fine spring day. I wish you were here to go for a walk. I took an hour or so off this afternoon and went to the first baseball game I've been to in a couple of years. Not much school spirit, I'm afraid, but I did enjoy this one. We beat St. John's 6-3. The history test was a queer. The other class of 2 sections flunked theirs to a man. I'll tell you my grade when it comes through. I have so much to do, I don't know where to start, yet I'm too lazy to get going. The Spanish prof must think I have nothing to do except mark his papers from the amount of them he is giving me. Spring fever is here. I love you and do wish you were here with me. I know it will be soon, but I'll be glad when you are my wife, and that no matter what happens, you are my wife. Have you written Mrs. Latham about a summer camp job? Together, I would like to get the date settled for keeps. I've been thinking about your new Honor Council case a lot. I hope it clears up and does not have to be dropped. I admire your stick-to-itness. Something is sure to turn up and show just who did it. The cheating. One can never be too sure about judgment of people. Thanks for the clipping. Let's put these men on our prayer list as they come to trial. Machen and McIntyre. The latter one, especially as he is so young, and in such a position he should have our prayer help. I walked through the woods on my way back from the library and picked this dogwood for you. Find a kiss at its heart. Now, down to work. 1 a.m., a lot of work done. Gee, sweets, I wish you were here. I'm lonely for you tonight. Mac just came in with my history mark and I got a 94. Now on to biology test on Tuesday and the Bible paper. Both will be stiff. Good night. The kiss in the dogwood will tell you of my love. Your friends. Then she says, the waiting time is coming to a countdown. Fleece have been put out as to choice of a wedding date dependent on the summer job. Acceptance into Westminster Seminary brought with it a scholarship and the married student's allowance of $22.50 a month for an apartment. The summer would have to be cared for and then food money earned for seminary years. It was a depression, and jobs were thought of as an impossibility. So, April 28th, 1935. Dearest Edith, I'm lonely for you tonight, very much so. A lot of things have come up I wish I could talk and pray over with you. It has been a warm day, but not clear. I think dust clouds from the west have more to do with the cloudiness than rain. The dust came in light waves this afternoon, enough to make it look like rain. I worked all day on my Bible parallel reading. The table by the window facilitated my reading in the day, and as I now have a big light, the night work runs easy too. Have read 2 books this week and have 2 more full ones to read and additional notes to take on other books, and then I'll be ready to write the paper. The history prof is going to assign an extra 400-page book to read before end of term. Big fun. It's a good thing we decided I'd better not try for the prize. Don't see how I could do more. Here's a clipping I thought you'd be interested in. It seems that more than just Russia is anti-Christian. I wonder what the outcome is going to be. It will be either a new surge ahead through a great revival, a change in the basic beliefs of Christianity, or the second coming. The basic beliefs have always been the same and held to by the real church. The other 2, either 1, mean watchfulness and prayer. We must be on our toes and waiting. I began reading Genesis again. I'd forgotten how inspiring and interesting the old Bible stories are. Bill Junkin was talking in Mission today about how thankful we should be for the Bible. How true. Think what it would be not to have the Bible, especially in this age. We would have no standard to measure all this controversy of theories against. As it is, I forget what is in the Bible between readings. We would be overwhelmed in no time if we could not take constant strength from it. It is truly a gift to give thanks for. Christianity is of the book. And when that book is struck against, we can be sure something is wrong, whether the one striking is a sweet-sounding philosophical scientist or the German government. I've realized I am lacking in that sweetness of action that shows the man who really keeps Christ's 2 great commandments. I also know that that sweetness is based on a love of God and man I have never attained. In its place, I feel I can never witness as I should with this true. It is a strong but sweet Christian who really shows the Christian way of life. Of course, I realize that this develops with age in real Christians, but I feel I should have more of it than I do. The last couple of days I've been reading the love chapter, the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians, over a couple of times a day, and when I feel my ire rising over little things, or catch myself fishing for compliments, or being hurt over my pride being walked on, I quote myself part of that. It has helped, and I hope it will continue until I have those qualities I now so definitely lack. It is a wonderful sweetness, yet staunch standing for the uncompromising truth of belief and action that can best lead men to Christ. I mean the Howard Taylor types, or your mother, and not the milksop variety. Another thing, I don't believe we can attain to keeping the advice Dr. Howard Taylor gave us till we get it this way. That advice was, in marriage, put the Lord first, each other second, and self last. Try it, and see if it doesn't make your days run smoother. I hope I don't go on and forget this, for it would make life a lot happier and smoother to really love God and man continually and wholeheartedly, and not have pride getting continually underfoot. The modernists have talked Christian love into the ground, but the only trouble is that what they mean by, quote, Christian love and what the Bible means are 2 different things. They mean love as doing away with the other Bible truths. Golly, it's exactly the same right now.
It is.
And people, like your mother, have found it possible to live a life based on love because of the other Bible truths being true. Like the social gospel and stressing the Sermon on the Mount. There's nothing wrong in this, for all this is a part of the biblical truth, but they cannot be taken to exclude all other truths or the truth of Christ in the Gospels. The letter goes on for 8 more pages, talking about this black Sunday school children having moms, etc., talking about possibilities for summer jobs, discussing my making my wedding dress, and then your dress, your ring, it all seems so unbelievably close now. You are dear and sweet, and may our years together be one long melody of happiness, joy, and service. I will try to love you as your perfectness should be loved. 2 weeks of cramming, and college will be finished for both of us. Tuesday. This is from Edith. Darling, I love you. I'm in Bible class and I've just had an argument about creation. He's so wobbly. It's no fun talking to him. I like strong positiveness. I love you forever and a day. And if I do nothing else all my life, I'll be your chief helper through prayer and acts and words and love. I'll always be behind you in prayer and beside you in any work. And if anyone ever felt called to anything, I feel called to help you in every way possible. If you should ever fall short of the plan in store for you, which would be my fault, and it won't happen if your silent partner can help it. Later, I'm studying for a chem exam now. Who cares about nucleoproteins and albuminoids? Did I say that right? Albuminoids. Albuminoids?
Yep.
Okay. If there's anything I don't feel like doing, studying is all 6 of them. I'm tired of school and feel horribly impatient today. I'm sick about learning this and that. I'd rather put it all into practice. Oh dear, I must study chem again. I sit here and write a line to you, look off into the distance, chew my pen, and feel like chewing rusty nails. I have 75 pages of history of lit to read for English, besides Noah's flood and this horrible, hideous chemistry. Wish I were lying on hot sand, digging my toes in it and letting it slip through my fingers, kissing your sandy arm and getting ready to dash into the ocean. You'd better put this letter in the minus column. I love you, for which, after all, is all that matters, isn't it? Edith. May 18th, 1935, Hampton, Sydney. Dearest, wonderful sweetheart, we do have a glorious future to look forward to and should find joy in it even now. Enough joy to blot out the things which are hard and unpleasant now. Things are better now, and the end of the pre-examination period is at hand. A few more Spanish papers to mark and then exams. My activities are about closed, or will be after tomorrow. I'll be thinking of your May Day today. How I would like to be with you. I miss you so and want your companionship. Today, I would like to talk over our plans together. I'm glad you did not find move up night too hard. Move up in the senior class when I was going to leave school. I'm sorry about Mother last Sunday. I know how that must have hurt. I have felt that hurt in the past and so can understand. However, I'm glad you're going to play with her on Friday night. That should help. I'll be glad when this is all over and arguments done, so we can stand together from then on in all decisions with no one else to be accountable to. I appreciate the way your folks have taken our plans and have helped us. I do hope Mother breaks over and comes to the wedding. Something to be happy about. Good asked about wedding presents tonight, and I told him sheets were a problem, and he said we could count on him for help there. Knowing Good, I think a portion of that problem will be well solved. We will find out how soon the rent is paid, so we can arrange for that in our summer plans. No one else can fulfill any side of mine, or even be totally sympathetic to any side, and here you are, who can completely fulfill all parts of me, and you soon will be my wife. Think, dear, actually my wife, you are what I could sit down and coldly figure out that I wanted in a woman. But how in the world you so gloriously perfect for a Christian's wife have come to me, I do not understand. But you have, and I give thanks for you. I do not understand why you have come to me any more than I do not understand why I was called into the ministry. But I know both are true, and I am glad for both. Great are the mysteries, but how much better we are cared for than we could care for ourselves. How fine it would be to know that we will be responsible to each other and for each other, and that everyone will expect us to put each other first. How I hope we may have many, many years of service together and finally entrance together into eternity. Perhaps Christ will return in our lifetime, and then it will be for sure together. I hope he does. Now, sweets, good night. I adore you. Your person, Franz. Collie, did Jesus come back in his lifetime?
No.
No. And this is the last part of it. A bushel basket of letters tossed with some hurt and sadness into a furnace fire. 3 years of waiting, writing, struggling with the desire to be honest. 3 years of a special kind of preparation recorded in 2 kinds of handwriting, all in smoke and ashes. Yet the chance handful out of it all, as you have discovered, has had an amazing sequence and covers an almost selected variety of subjects, or passing thoughts or incidents which give a glimpse that no memory could have conjured up by trying to remember that particular spot in the tapestry. To me, the sorting out of this handful of yellowed, dry, brittle bits of paper has been one more important incident in my own life that causes me to look back and realize I have been on Fran's imaginary escalator. No one but God knew that I would be praying 48, 47, 46 years after those letters were written for his help in giving me what I needed to show a true picture of 18, 19, 20-year-old Edith and 21, 22, 23-year-old Fran without being fanciful about it. The prayer has been answered in making this chapter possible without having to rely on imperfect memory. In fact, we, Fran and I, are reading this chapter together with wet eyes, being reminded of how faithful God has been in spite of our many failures and the times of unfaithfulness to him, of how he has answered our prayers of that time and unfolded that which he had started to give in understanding then into a much more mature understanding. We didn't know much about the deep afflictions of life by experience then, nor how short time is. Writing all this is like looking at life through the wrong end of a telescope. And that's the end of chapter 8.
Awesome.